In today's rapidly globalizing world, our interactions with diverse culture become more frequent than ever before. Yet, how often do we see beyond our preconceived notions and biases? How often do we question the stories we have been told? And how often do we truly seek to understand the perspectives of others? Let's face it, we all carry pre-existing prejudice, shaped by both our external influences and internal perception. The media we consume, for instance, plays a significant role in shaping and forming our perspective. Take, for example, how social media outlets often highlight sensationalist and negative aspects of other cultures, while ignoring its positive sides. What's even worse is that on these platforms, its algorithms tend to show us information that aligns with our belief, reinforcing our biases and filtering out diverse viewpoints. But it's just not these external influences that we need to be aware of. Our internal perception plays a huge role as well. One such perception is called naive realism. Naive realism is a tendency to believe that we see the world as it truly is, objectively and without bias, while thinking that those who disagree with us are irrational and uninformed. By thinking this way, it makes it difficult for us to appreciate the perspectives of others and recognize our own limitations. So, how do these external influences and internal perception manifest in our everyday life? But more importantly, how do we break free from these confines of prejudice and misunderstandings? It was in the diverse environment of a boarding school that taught me valuable lessons and challenged my very own preconceptions. At boarding school, I met a classmate from Mexico. I have to admit, when he mentioned he's from Mexico City, the first thought that came to me was illegal immigration. However, he soon won me over by generously sharing with me those really delicious candy called tambarinas. As we became friends, he showed me many pictures of Mexico's beautiful beaches and introduced me to its rich culinary traditions, like the 100 different types of moles that can be paired with chicken and rice. This made me question why I know so many negative aspects of Mexico, but almost none of its positive sides. As I investigated further, I realized that many news sites that I was reading from were all invariably emphasizing on the abundance drug, illegal immigration, and human trafficking of Mexico. But interestingly, they really share the positive sides of Mexico, such as its amazing culinary traditions and culture. This was a stark wake-up call for me to realize how influential these external influences can shape our prejudice and distort our views. At boarding school, I also met another classmate from Taiwan. At the beginning, we weren't so close, but we soon bonded through a shared interest in basketball, and we realized that we both love 牛肉面, beef noodle, and couldn't resist bubble tea. Our friendship grew stronger through these shared interests, but it was the conversations about the China-Taiwan relationship that truly opened my eyes. At the start, we both believed that the other person was not looking at the situation objectively. I believed that he was somewhat brainwashed by his environment, and he thought the same about me. However, we soon realized that our naive realism was at play, making us assume that our views were the only correct ones and the other was just simply misinformed. Through many honest and open conversations, we opened our eyes to each other's perspectives and uncovered many misunderstandings. Looking back from these experiences, I just realized how influential these external influences and internal perception shape our perspective. Being in a boarding school gave me the opportunity to interact with people from different backgrounds. But what if I didn't have that opportunity? I might be continue living in my own bubbles, trapped in my echo chambers that reinforce my prejudice and misunderstandings. So, how do we challenge our preconception and see the world from a more open-minded lens? I would like to share with you 2 key strategies that really work with me, and I hope that will work with you. The first one is to independently and critically assess the source of information. First, check for bias. Ask yourself why the source was published. Is it to inform, to entertain, to persuade, or to sell something? Then consider the reputation of the publication and think about who published the source. Lastly, we should seek out for different perspectives and compare how different information sources cover the same topic. The second strategy that I would like to share with you is to focus on how we communicate with each other. And it simply starts with active listening. Put away your distractions and really pay attention. When people are speaking, try to understand them. Put yourself in their shoes. Look at things from their lens to understand their perspective. It also helps to ask questions. Not only this will make things clear for you, but it also demonstrates that you care about their viewpoints. And in communication, empathy is key. Try to genuinely appreciate something about the other person, like quality, habit, or simply the fact, like us, they have their own emotions and experiences. Recognizing that fundamentally we're no different can really help in breaking down these barriers. Today, our interactions with diverse culture become more frequent than ever before. We can either choose to remain trapped within the chains of our very own limited knowledge, risking the chances of polarization and conflict. Or we can choose to be more open-minded and try to understand the perspectives of others in order to create a more harmonious and connected global community. Choose wisely, because this decision may well decide the future of mankind. Thank you.